Manchester City, the league leaders, have gone 40 games unbeaten at home. Are we the ones to burst their bubble? Hello and welcome to episode 35 of Irons in the Fire as we try and make West Ham good and great again. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you 2 games in the Premier League as we get back to Premier League action after a lot of cups and so on and so forth. It's match day 20 and match day 21 featuring Manchester City first up at the Etihad Stadium, and then we welcome Brighton back to the London Stadium for what effectively was our first 2 games of the season, and it's all come round again. So that's how seasons work, of course. So we're about the halfway point of the season, and the date on screen is the 29th of December, which also means we are standing on the very close to the opening of the transfer window, and we are expecting quite a few players to go out. So we'll be on the lookout for some as well. We'll cover that in just a moment. But don't forget, if you do enjoy today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the series so far and what you'd like to see me to do in other series. And if you've got any how-tos, leave me those comments as well. All are gratefully received. The other thing to mention is if you want to follow me on this channel, the best thing to do is follow me on Twitter, or M, or whatever, X, whatever it's called these days. Follow me. It's JustOffsideFM. That's the way to do it. Right, without any more to do, let's get on and have a look at what's been going on. We've got a little bit to cover before we get into the game, so we're not hanging around. I think the first thing to do is have a look and see what we've been doing since you were last with us, and then a recap of the table, and then we'll have a look at potential transfer goings on as we enter a second game of the episode. Will be a 1st of January, which is New Year's Day, of course, and the old transfer window will open, and we'll see how many people we're likely to go out. Last time out, it was a 3-0 win in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. Semi-finals coming up in the next episode, or at least the first leg of it, against Aston Villa, and then, of course, that unexpected 2-0 win against Liverpool, putting our away form in the Premier League a bit of a hoodoo away, well, at least for one game. Today might open it up again, of course. But we have beaten Arsenal 4-0. Wasn't expected, this one. Again, we thought it was going to be a tight match, but actually ended up being a fair old romp. 27 minutes it took us to get the opening goal. A free kick from James Ward-Prowse. Goalkeeper just stood watching it. And that's 1-0. 1-0 at half-time. Thomas Souček getting our second after 54 from a corner. Samadic headed on by Samadic. Nice, headed into the ground. Beat Ramsdale in that one. And then Jarrod Bowen joined the fray. I think he was on from the start, to be fair. Johnson came forward for this one. Found Watkins. Watkins was sort of tripped, but the ball ran through. I think it was Tierney. I don't know if he passed it back or what he was trying to do. Just beat and the ball going through to Bowen, and Bowen sometimes he snatches at those, sometimes he doesn't. He didn't snatch at that one. 6 minutes later he was on the score sheet again, making it a fine 4-0 win. Watkins out to Johnson. Johnson, lovely through ball to Bowen. Bowen composed himself and put it away. A question of whether it was offside or not, but VAR confirming that he was onside. It was a 4-0 win. 13 shots, 10 on target, 1.57. We only had 36% of the possession. Interestingly, they had 64% of the possession. 11 shots, 4 on target, 1.68. Better XG than us, but we beat them comprehensively 4-0. So extremely well done to the team for that one. We did, of course, we were at home, I suppose, which made a little bit of a difference. So, as it stands after that, we still have a game in hand over today's opponents, Manchester City, and playing them, we will still have a game in hand over them. So, Manchester City top, played 20, 52 points. We are some 13 points behind them in second. But, of course, we can close that gap by 3 points today if we were to win. And it would mean that we are only 10 points behind them and still have a game in hand. So, theoretically, if we could win that game in hand as well, we would only be 7 points behind them. So we could close that gap if we can win today. Arsenal just behind us on goal difference in third place, so no relaxing. Then come Manchester United, Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest, all on 37, just 2 points behind us. And then it's a bit of a drop then down to Liverpool and Brentford just outside the European places on 28 points, 11 points clear of them. So from European places, we've sort of secured ourselves in the European places now, which is quite good. Daniel Farke has taken over at Tottenham and needs to do something fairly quickly because they're sort of mid-table fodder at the moment. Mind you, Chelsea not doing too good either. Burnley, Wolves and Brighton. Brighton, our second opponents today. Yeah, potential banana skin there. You can see it coming, can't you? They are on the bottom as it stands at the moment. Right, we did say we'd have a quick roundup of the potential. We have Go Finances first. We have 48 million. We've had a little bit of money go out of there. We did have about 49 million, but a little bit has gone out on the basis that we've had some clauses going out because players have hit their number of games that they play before some more pay goes out to the sides that we bought them from. So that's gone down a little bit, but 48 million, 49 million there or thereabouts is available to us to use in the transfer market. We need to assess what we need. I think a lot of it is going to be replacing players that potentially will be going out. Of those, Gerard Bowen is wanted by Newcastle. Thomas Souček is wanted by Real Madrid. You can see what sort of things we're going to have to put up with. Alvarez is wanted by a lot of the Saudi Arabian sides, and that could be troublesome, shall I say. Mavropanos, who we've said we will let him go as long as somebody meets our valuation for him. Again, Al Nassr from the Saudi Arabian side wants him, and also does as does Fulham and Atletico Madrid. Although Atletico Madrid want him on a loan. Ben Johnson, again, it's the Saudi Arabian sides, Al Arabia. I can go on. Lucas Paqueta. He's wanted by them. So as you can see, we are struggling. Good news is Danny Ings is wanted by Nottingham Forest and Sunderland, so we'll obviously want to say goodbye to him. The other thing we could possibly do with doing is offloading one of our goalkeepers and bring in a new goalkeeper is also possibly something that should be on our radar going into this transfer window. But as you can see, there are a lot of players there that potentially could leave us and leave a little bit of a hole in the team. All we need to do is make sure that we replace either like for like or improvements. That's what we're after doing. So we'll see how this transfer window goes. It could be our make or break, and especially at a time that we're trying to break loose from the others behind us, 1, and 2, catch up on Manchester City. And job that isn't too easy at the best of times. Talking about Manchester City, first game up then. We've played them 4 times this series and not beaten them yet. Losing at the Etihad at our first game. That must have been last season, 2-0 loss on that occasion. A 1-1 draw at our place, and then we lost 3-1 at their place in the Community Shield earlier. No, it wasn't. That was at Wembley, Mark. It was a 4-4 draw earlier in the season. So already we've lost 1 and drawn 1 this season. Can we make it a win, please? It would be very nice to put a little bit of a green light on here. Let's go and see what we can do then against them at the Etihad. As I said, they have gone 40 games unbeaten at the Etihad Stadium. Let's just try and hope that they can't make it 41. And here is the side that faces Manchester City in this Premier League match day 20. Areola is in goal. Emerson's, Friedel, Zuma, Kufal, our defensive line. Carrera, Ward-Prowse and Alvarez are in midfield. Kudos is sat behind Bowen and Watkins up front. Mazulia, Todibo, Lucas Paqueta, Ings, Mavropanos, Samadic, Kamada, Parisi, who's coming back from injury, can only play 45 minutes, so make an appearance in the second half. And Souček make up the rest of the bench. So here we are at the Etihad Stadium. As you see, they've won the last 5 games straight. And Erling Haaland leading their attack. We're playing our usual formation. Kudos sitting behind Bowen and Watkins today. Samadic not fully fit, of course. Manchester City top on 52. We are second on 39 points. "25 minutes on the clock." And Foden standing over a free kick to Aki. Aki, it's blocked, but Aki still has control. Foden on the edge of the area, and Kanja, and it's gone in via Areola, 3rd goal of the season. And Akanji, the scorer. And on 26 minutes, we go a goal behind to Manchester City. Not done a great deal in this game so far. Oh, and Areola should have saved that. It was a mistake by Areola. Stones, 29 minutes on the clock. Out to Rafinha. Rafinha into Kovacic. Oh, and a penalty. Somebody it was Zuma, I think, brought Haaland down. And it's definitely going to be a penalty. There's no ifs, buts and maybes. I've not seen one of these turned down yet. No, and this isn't the occasion it's going to happen either. Haaland then will step up. Can Areola make a... Oh, he can! Areola has made a hero of himself, redeemed himself from that mistake early on, and is that the turning point of the game? Haaland, it wasn't convincing, really, was it? They get a corner, though. Grealish with the corner. Need to defend this well. Otherwise, it's a bit... Oh, it's just... couldn't get it down. Good corner. Grealish deep, and it was Haaland again, just over the top. Well, we've survived till half-time, not conceding any more. It could have been 2-0, apart from Haaland missing that penalty, or Areola saving the penalty. I should probably give him the benefit of the doubt, but we've only had 2 shots, nothing on target. 0.18, they've kept us under control up till now. 32% of the possession. That's where we need to be in the second half. They've had 8 shots, 3 of which are on target. 1.73 and 68% of the possession. We're at the Etihad. Soufal with a throw then. Soufal throws it. Didn't get to its intended target. Zuma, who would have headed backwards. Soufal, kudos. This is the first attack we've seen. Soufal wins that tackle. Can he get into the area? No, he can't. Soufal, come on, man. Ward-Prowse is come in support. Alvarez, Carrera. Oh, and the ball given away. And you can't do that against Manchester City. Friedel, Emerson, Carrera, back to Emerson. Emerson out wide. Need to try and change this up a bit. Crossed into Soufal. Soufal couldn't make a connection with it, though. Soufal. It's got support from Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse takes a shot and it's just wide of the post. And with nearly 70 minutes on the clock, making 2 changes. Gerard Bowen. He's getting tired. He's not had a good day up front there. We've taken him off and replaced him with Danny Ings. And then we've also taken off Ollie Watkins. Kudos moving up into Watkins' space. Samadic coming in behind Kudos. Is that his best? Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of odds. So that's the changes we made for now. Oliveira. 75 minutes on the clock. Soufal winning that ball. Samadic as we break out. New legs, but Samadic messes up. Who was that actually stopped him? It was John Stones. Oliveira. Duco. Back to Stones. Walker. Grealish. Haaland. Cut out by Soufal. Back to Areola. Areola clears his lines. Alvarez, Kudos brings it down nicely. Samadic, can we catch them here? Ings through to Kudos. Kudos is tackled and the ball given up. And their defence, you can see how they work and very quickly cover one another. They are a class act. Kovacic, Haaland's hanging about in there. Grealish, and Grealish gets the second, 31st goal of the season. Question of whether Haaland was offside, I think. I think he was. He seemed to be well out in front there. Oh no, it's been given. And we go 2-0 down after 76 minutes. Kovacic cutting it back for Grealish. And actually, I think Haaland was onside. See the lines now as they come forward. Ooh, it's debatable. There's not much in it. There's not much in it. And with 77 minutes on the clock, making our final changes, and those changes are as follows. We've taken off Thilo Carrera and brought on Thomas Souček for him. We've also taken off Emerson and replaced him with Parisi. And then we've also taken off Edson Alvarez and replaced him with Lucas Paqueta. Samadic. Deep one. Oh, yes, he's going in. And Zuma, his 4th goal of the season. Question whether he was offside. VAR will look at it. He seemed to be well forward. And he was offside. Doesn't count. There, Zuma, as you see. Nice bowl back in. They have a corner. Rafina with the corner. Swings it in. It's headed away by Friedel, but Aki is going to get there. Oh, Rafina. I think it's been given. And, yeah, I don't think there was a great deal wrong with that. 3-0. And they have a free kick to make it 4. It's hit the crossbar. Kufau, still not clear. Samadic. Kovacic. Grealish. Well, the pain is over. It's a 3-0 loss. Akanji, Haaland got the second goal, actually, as it was. I don't know that he got a touch to it, to be fair. And Rafina getting the 3rd on 84 minutes. 16 shots, 7 on target, 2.43 and 66% of the possession. We did up our possession a little bit, and we did have 8 shots, 4 of which were on target. We just didn't put them away. 1 on the old XG, 34% of the possession, as we said. I think Manchester City have won the Premier League. Well, with the full round of results in the Premier League, that loss to Manchester City has hurt us. And, well, I won't say we've got an away day hoodoo again, but, you know, it's really up against the side that is the Premier side in the league, I guess. Arsenal beating Crystal Palace by 4-0. Manchester United beating Everton 2-0. Chelsea winning against Aston Villa. Aston Villa dropping out of the top 4 for the first time for a while. What other results are the Norwich and Tottenham drawing 1-1. Daniel Farke going back to his old side there and only managing to get a draw. Newcastle drawing 1-1 with Brentford as well. So the other interesting score is Burnley beating Wolves, fellow relegation candidates, 6-0 to push themselves up within 2 points of Norwich, just above that drop zone. So as it stands, Manchester City top on 55. They're 13 points clear of us now. Still a game in hand, but yeah, it's still away. Sorry, clear of us, that we are, well, they're 16 points clear of us as it stands. Arsenal are in second on 42, Manchester United third on 40. Then we come fourth on 39. The two teams, Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest, immediately behind us on 37. Liverpool are seventh on 36. We still have a 9-point gap to Chelsea, who are in eighth position at the moment. We need a win against Brighton. How did Brighton do in this round of games? They lost 3-0 to Liverpool. There you go then. Right, so without any more to do, let's go through to that Brighton game. If there's any news, because obviously the transfer window will open just as we get to the Brighton game. If there is any early news in the transfer market, I'll let you have it ahead of the game against Brighton. Well, we are on the 1st of January. No, nothing has happened as yet. We have recalled one of our players from loan. He was at Fulham, not getting game time, only played 7 games in the first half of the season. So we have recalled him. We'll get him out on loan somewhere else for the second half of the season, hopefully. The only other change that has come up, the board have offered me to change our expectation for the season. We've moved from a situation where we said we would have a top half finish to the Europa League via the league as a minimum. So we've upped our transfer budget and our wage budget at the same time, which means that looks a little bit prettier. That's upped to 2,900,000. So we've got somewhere in the region of about 400,000 there to play with, which is quite handy, and has increased our transfer budget by 10 million as well. So that's all looking quite good. Brighton, our second game of the episode in the Premier League. We've played them 3 times in the Premier League already this season. Beat them at the Amex. I think it's the Amex, isn't it? Is it called the Amex? Does it say? Yeah, the American Express Stadium. 3-0 on that occasion. Last season in the Premier League, beat them 2-1 here at the London Stadium. It was a goal from Etihad after 80 minutes. They equalised a minute later through Fatty. And then Paqueta scored after 87. So given us that win. Let's hope it's a little bit more comprehensive today. It would be rather good. Let's go then and have a look at the team that will face Brighton in this match day 21. Well, there has been some activity transfer market wise. We'll come to that after this game. We've had some bids in for players as expected. Nobody that standoutish at the moment. Ings being one of them, and he's been, and we're just trying to up the price a little bit. And a couple of the others, peripheral players, realistically. So nobody major in the squad at the moment going to cause us a problem. So we'll see what happens with that. This is the team then that will face Brighton in this match day 21. Areola in goal. Parisi makes a start on the left side as an inverted wing back, which he's preferred as that. We'll try him today. Friedel, Todibo and Johnson. I just need to check because I think we had that set. It's not his best. He's better as a ball-playing defender. Friedel doesn't really make much odds to him. So we'll leave that alone. Johnson is out on the right. Carrera, Ward-Prowse and Souček are midfield. Samadic makes a start behind Bowen, and Kudos moving up with Watkins on the bench today. On the bench then alongside Watkins is Mazulia, Mavropanos, Ings, Zuma, Paqueta, Skulls, Emerson and Alvarez. And here we are back at the London Stadium. That one blot on the landscape, as it were. That lost to Manchester City. Well, they've lost their last 4 matches on the trot, only drawn 1 in their last 5. We are in 4th on 39 points. Brighton are 20th on 10 points. Ten minutes on the clock, Lampiti to march. Van Hoosen. And this is a player we've got to watch. Esteputinen gets that cross in. It's deep. And goalkeeper diving to his right, but it's gone the other way. Luckily, not in the back of the net. A corner, Samadic with a corner, swung in. Steele comes out and collects. Highlight is obviously going to continue. He launches a long one forward. And Todibo brings that down very nicely. Under control, Souček. Carrera, Souček finds Johnson. Johnson through to Bowen. Bowen not firing on cylinders today. Bowen in a good position. Had to hold back a little bit as that ball come forward. And I think he was offside, actually. Friedel with a long throw. Kudos back out of Friedel. Friedel now. What's he going to do? He's got Ward-Prowse inside him. Ward-Prowse, can he get this ball into the area? He can, but it's well blocked. And Todibo there to tidy up. Forward to Johnson. Johnson needs to get across into the box here. It's long, but again defended. They're defending well on that front post there. Parisi from the other side this time. Parisi cross it in. That's a bit more like it. Gerard Bowen, he's 15th of the season. And hard work, but I think on 32 minutes, maybe 33 minutes. We'll check in a moment. Parisi doing what Johnson couldn't do on the other wing. Cross it into the box, and it is on 33 minutes. Bowen puts that one away. Friedel will a long throw on this side this time. Finds Souček, heads it on. Ward-Prowse cuts it back, and Bowen on the edge of the area gets his second of the game. And well, that was a cracking goal. 40 minutes, we are 2-0. Took us a long time to get into this game properly. Souček heading that back. Ward-Prowse teeing up Bowen, who's almost in the number 10 position. A corner. 45 minutes on the clock. 2 minutes of extra time added. And that's gone over the top. Quite sure who got on the end of this. It was Souček. Just couldn't get it down. Well, half time has arrived. 14 shots, 8 on target, 2.02, 60% of the possession. We are in command, so to speak. 5 shots, 2 on target, 0.43 and 40% of the possession for Brighton. Gerard Bowen getting 2, but he is tired. I don't think he was fully fit coming into this game, and I think we probably should have rested him. But we'll have to have a look at half time and see. 48 minutes on the clock. Lamperty throwing in. And Brighton looking to try and get one back. And they, I was going to say they have, but just wide. And the ensuing goal kick. Johnson has Todibo in support. We haven't taken Bowen off at half time. Going to give him a little bit longer. Just to see if he can get his hat-trick. Parisi, cross it deep. Kudos. But Kudos couldn't get on the end of it. Watkins, of course, on the bench. So we could replace Bowen with Watkins. And we've given him a lot of room here. He's run all the way. And they've got one back through Gross. And to be honest, Rowe just run rings around us and we let him do it. I mean, there was 2 or 3 occasions here. Should have cut him off. Look, backed off him. And then, who was this? This was Todibo was dragged out of position purely because Souček didn't take him out. Realistically, Johnson's in here. That's poor. Well, with 15 minutes on the clock, we're making 2 changes. Bowen coming off as expected. He is tiring. He's not going to give him a chance to score his hat-trick, unfortunately. I thought I'd give him 5 minutes or so just to see. But obviously we've conceded that goal, so we need to reset as we are. So Ings comes on what potentially could be his final game for us in attack alongside Kudos at the moment. Kudos is tiring as well, so He's likely to come off and be replaced by Ollie Watkins very, very shortly. But the other change that we made is Thilo Carrera has come off. He's recovering from a knock. He's had quite a good game today as well. But we've taken him off and replaced him with Lucas Paqueta. Friedel with a long throw. Throws it in, and Todibo got a boot on that, but bit wild. And with 66 minutes on the clock, making just one more change at this point in time. As anticipated, Kudos is coming off. He was getting tired. Ollie Watkins comes on to replace him. And Brighton break out. Whatever happened there. And Rowe is the danger man again. And he's put it inside. Oh, just wide. I think it's deflected. In fact, Areola saved that. It's gone for a corner. Need to defend this corner then. Looked a bit of 6s and 7s today. Todibo brings that under control. But it was a poor ball out in the end. And Rowe's at it again. Souček having a tackle. And we'll see. I think this is the initial attack and the save by Areola. And it was lovely save. It was going in. And with 75 minutes on the clock, making our final two changes as we try and find a way in. I'm going to put Watkins as an advance forward. It's not his favoured position, but we need to try and put a little bit of pressure on them. So the final two changes then is Ward-Prowse has come on. Kurt Zouma comes in as the ball-winning midfielder. And we've also taken off Ben Johnson on the right-hand wing back position and brought on Mavropanos. And it's Brighton attacking again. Parisi tied in up this time. Friedel. A 2-goal cushion would be rather splendid. Zouma finds Souček in midfield. Watkins out to Mavropanos. It's come on for Ben Johnson. Mavropanos cross it in. Oh, just over the top. Could be Mavropanos' last game as well. No, nobody coming in for him yet. But there's that Ings heading it over the top. Steele with a goal kick. Zouma heads that down. Watkins evading the tackle. Friedel. Samadic. This looks a bit more like it. Mavropanos. Cross it in. Watkins is there. Question whether he was offside. I think he cut that back, actually. I think he was further forward. He wasn't. He's offside. Mavropanos. And it wasn't him. It was Ings that was offside. Corner. Samadic with the corner. It's very deep to Todibo, but Todibo can't direct it down. We have a free kick. Samadic with a free kick. Deep. Looking for Mavropanos. Didn't quite get there. Defended well by Brighton. Watkins. Mavropanos. He's cut back. Paqueta has Samadic. Samadic. Oh, it's come off the woodwork. Unlucky. And they break away. We're going to have to be careful. They don't catch us on the break. Need to be very, very careful. But Mavropanos, who's tracking down, a good bit of defending by Mavropanos in that last highlight as he was tracking back, saved the day. And the goal from Pascal Grobe was just but a consolation in the end. Jarrod Bowen getting us a 2-goal lead at half-time, 32 minutes and 40 minutes before he was taken off. 27 shots, 14 on target, 3.61. Should have had more. 61% of the possession. They had 9 shots, 4 on target, 1.16 and 39% of the possession. It's not as comprehensive as we would have expected against the bottom of the league side, but they have got a new manager, and I'm sure they were playing up to show him how good or how not poor they are. And here is the results from today's game. Still Leeds and Bournemouth to play, but I don't think either of those affect us too much. We will round up on what's happening with the transfer market at the start of the next episode. But for the purpose of today, Manchester City on a roll. They have beaten Brentford 5-1. Manchester City beating Crystal Palace by 3-1. Arsenal drew 2-2 with Liverpool, so it means we close the gap on them just a little bit, having beaten Brighton 2-1. Chelsea losing to Wolves by 2-1 as well. So Chelsea in outside that area now, 7-point gap between them and Nottingham Forest. So this is how it looks as we go into the end of episode. Manchester City have a 15-point lead over Manchester United, albeit they have played one game more. And Arsenal, Manchester United in second on goal difference ahead of Arsenal. We are in fourth on 42 points. 2 points are clear of Aston Villa, who are on 40 points. And then Liverpool and Nottingham Forest on 37. So we have got a 5-point gap over them at the moment. And then Chelsea just outside of the European places, and said we are 12 points clear of them now. Burnley, Wolves and Brighton in that drop zone. Burnley, did they play today? They did. They lost to Tottenham by a goal to 0 as Tottenham try and haul themselves up the table. So Burnley's win the other day has done them no good by losing today, but Norwich also losing to Everton. So that gap still 2 points between them and safety. That's how it is for the end of the episode. We're going to come back pretty quickly. We're coming back for Swindon Town in the FA Cup third round. In fact, the next episode is a cup episode, because we will then have the first leg of the EFL, the Carabao Cup semi-final. First leg, coming back for that one. So I hope you will join me for that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. Keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Irons in the Fire and our other series at bottom to the top. If you've not seen that series yet, go and have a look at it. New episodes of Irons in the Fire are released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. And the best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. Hope to see you for the next episode then. It's a cup episode, FA Cup third round and Carabao Cup semi-final first leg. Join me for that on Monday. Till then, bye-bye.